Welcome to the weekly challenge. We are currently working on a small start to finish project together. Each week we'll build upon the last, but don't worry. If you get a week behind or you're struggling to get something working, you can still pick it up the next week. I'm providing you with the resources you need to tackle each week independently. However, to get the most out of this, take on the challenge each week in order. Don't skip a week. The challenge for this week will be to build out the interfaces based upon our plan from last week. Now, if you're not familiar with the weekly challenge, let me explain. Each week, I challenge you to tackle a topic in C#. I give you all the materials you need to get started. Each challenge should take between 10 minutes and half an hour. That isn't a lot of time to dedicate to improving your C# skills. But I guarantee you, if you do the challenge each week, your skills will grow. Now, if you're interested in how I would do it, or if you get stuck, you can follow a link in the description to sign up for my solutions. The best part is you'll get all the back issues of the challenges as well. Either way, follow the link in the description to get the challenge file associated with this challenge. In fact, there's a couple of files this week. And I'll tell you about them in just a minute. Okay, so the goal for this week is to create the interfaces. Now, it's not a user interface. That's the interface class type. Okay, so an I something class, well, that's what we're going to create. You're going to create possibly two of them, depending if you do the primary challenge only or if you tackle the bonus challenge as well. Now, I would encourage you to do the bonus challenge because the bonus challenge will be necessary at some point down the road. So you're going to create an interface that's needed for the class that does all the calculations for the Soda Machine app. So last week, we listed out the methods. And so these are the high-level methods that we will need to run our application. Now, if you didn't do last week's challenge or you aren't quite sure what those should be, don't worry. I've got a PDF included in the download links. You have to go to the site to get that PDF. But that PDF has a list of our features, which that was a primary challenge last week, and it has a list of the methods. That was a bonus challenge. Well, we're going to take that list of methods and create an interface that has those methods. Now, it seems like that might be really straightforward, but it's not. And here's why. You're going to have to determine what are the inputs and outputs for these methods. And that may include creating some models. So just note you're going to create the inputs and outputs for these methods. Now, the bonus challenge is to create the interface needed to store and retrieve information from a data access source. Make sure that it's not targeted at a specific data access storage mechanism. What does this mean? Well, once you're done with the primary challenge of creating that interface, you'll know that those high-level methods will probably have to store and retrieve information from a database. Let's just pretend for a minute it's SQL Server. So you'd need to make database calls to SQL. But what if we said later we don't want SQL Server? In fact, we haven't specified. I haven't told you what database storage mechanisms that we'll use in this course. So you don't even know. It might be SQL, but it might be MongoDB, or it might be CouchDB, or it might be a text file, or XML, or JSON. It doesn't matter what that type is. What you're going to do is create an interface that says, whatever your data type is that actually implements this, I don't care, but here's the data I want you to store. Or here's the data I want you to give me. That's the data access interface. All right? Now, if you've done my other courses before, Then we'll create our methods and see if we can get those unit tests to pass. So that's kind of the order we're going to go in, kind of a test-driven development style of design. Now we're doing it at a larger chunk. We're not doing one method, making it fail, making it pass, and refactoring. We're doing all of our methods at once. And that's kind of a concession to our time and making sure we get this right, but without taking a ton of time. But that's kind of the pattern we're going through. And so this conceptual idea and trying to visualize your application without seeing it can be difficult. But I promise you, the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. And it's a really important skill to have to be good at visualizing your application before it's built so you understand the ins and the outs. All right? So this is a good practice for this. So that's your challenge for this week. Now, if you get stuck and you're not sure, there is that solution video that you could go and look at and make sure that you understand how it's working. All right? So it's up to you, but I encourage you, give this a shot. Don't just give in and watch the video. Try really hard to do it yourself. Again, stretch those muscles, stretch that understanding of C#. All right? That's it. Good luck and happy coding.